we're gonna got one more speaker who is absolutely outstanding. I'm just about to introduce her. But on top of that, we'll just do a couple of comments at the end, some final thoughts. But we're basically coming up to the end of Bring the Knee 2, and I'll kick over to my sidekick, John. I can't believe it's almost over. So let's there you go. All right, that's all the commentary we needed from John. That's perfect. So let's get right on into one of the world's greatest people, Jennifer Ford Berry, professional, awesome person. You just got to take yourself off mute there, Jennifer, and we are good to go.
Hi, everybody. I think this was unbelievably even better than the last one. I didn't think that was possible, but I learned so much today. Thank you, everybody, for sharing. Thank you, Adam, for having me. And I just want to start off by saying I couldn't agree with John more when he said about women doing more weight than cardio. I started doing that this year for my life, and what a difference. You just see the results a lot quicker. So awesome advice, John. Thank you so much, and thank you to everybody else. I'm going to talk about 3 topics today, and I don't know which one I'm more excited about because I love them all, and they're all mentioned in a book I just released called Organize Now, Think and Live Clutter-Free. And it's really, I'm passionate about talking about the inner clutter. We always want to talk about the outer clutter, but I think, we're going to end this on an inner clutter note. The first thing to talk about is how to organize a nurturing and inspiring home. And after 13 years of being a professional organizer, I think one of the saddest things I see is, driving up to a home that on the outside is just, you feel like those people are living the dream and couldn't ask for anything more in life. And when I walk in the front door and meet the owners, they're actually really unhappy. And to me, that is truly sad. I think all of us, when we come...
Uh-oh. Lost Jennifer for a second. And there you go.
Can you hear me?
Got you back.
Oh, I'm sorry. So yeah, I just mentioned how I think it's really sad if you come home at the end of the day and you don't feel good about walking in the door of your own home. Our homes are the one place in the entire universe that is just for us and our family. So I think it's really important to walk in the door and just be
I agree. And I lost you for a second.
And just...
Okay. You're back. You're back. You just keep on rolling through like there's no skipping of the beats.
Okay. This spring, take some time, number one, and just go room by room in your home. And maybe spend 5 minutes and take a look around and ask yourself, what do I love about this room and what do I hate about this room? And write it down. And just go room by room. At the end of that, make a list of the things that you maybe can do that don't even cost that much money to emphasize what you love in that space. And that can even be what I think it was Julie was talking about earlier about green organizing. Just kind of going around and maybe even rearranging things and taking something from one room, deciding, oh, I'm going to play up that color in a different room, using what you already have rather than bringing more stuff into your house. The second thing is to make a list of all of those home improvement projects that are just eating at you. Maybe you need to caulk the bathroom, or maybe you want to paint the kitchen a different color. Any little thing that's kind of nagging at you, if you're letting it nag you, it's actually taking energy away from you. So write it down, make a master list, and then pull out your planner and schedule time to get these projects done. If you don't take the time to schedule it and write it down, chances are it's not going to happen. And if it's a big project, we want to make it into bite-sized pieces that we can handle maybe, a couple hours in the evening during the week, or maybe you can allow yourself an entire Saturday. Whatever works for you, there's no right or wrong reason. The point is to just make sure that you have it written down and you come up with a plan. So that's number 2. And then to really just make your home your own. Don't set your house up the way you think it should be set up. Don't make it look like a cover of a magazine or what your next door neighbor is doing. Really make it be a reflection.
And she'll be back in a second. Here we go. John's nodding.
What do the Levines love to do? What's important to them? What are their main priorities in life? What kind of people are they? That's the best thing you can do, is to make your home your own. So, you know, for the one example I like to use is that if you have a dining room in your house, for example, when you buy it or you build it, and it's just you're not that type of person that's going to have a formal dinner every week, you know what, for this point of your life, maybe if you have small children, turn it into a playroom or craft area. Maybe it should be your office so you're close to where your kids are hanging out. But make it your own. Don't worry about trying to set up the perfect home. You know, there's no perfect way. It's more about being comfortable where you are and feeling peace and joy in that space.
Right.
So those are the big things about nurturing and inspiring homes. The next thing I'm going to talk about is organizing a plan to follow your passion. And we talked about a lot today about rebirth and spring, and it's kind of almost like a new, fresh start in the calendar year to make some major changes. And I think we can all agree, you know, everybody on the panel today, I know especially, we've talked about this, Adam, is how it feels to wake up every day and be able to work your passion. It is a huge change in how you feel on a daily basis. Right. And I can tell you just briefly in my own life that the difference between when I used to work for, you know, a corporation that I just didn't really care about. I mean, it was a great job. I made good money. Every day I didn't wake up excited. And one day I just started to really ask myself, you know, what am I passionate about? And the answer that kept coming to me was organizing. But at the time, I tried to talk myself out of it because 13 years ago, I didn't know anybody making money being a professional organizer. You know, it wasn't as big of an industry as it is now. So I kind of tried to push it aside and think of something else I was passionate about. But really, that was the one thing that when I was honest with myself, I had loved doing since the time I was a little girl. And, I mean, what 5-year-old goes into somebody's house and asks them if they can organize, you know, a drawer or a cupboard? Not to do that. But that was me. And I just, when I really was honest with myself, I could realize that this is something that has been something I truly love since the time I was a child. So if you're, you know, watching this today or thinking about maybe making a career change, I really encourage you to, first of all, take a step away from the clutter and the busy schedules and all of your responsibilities and just spend some time reflecting and pondering and ask yourself, you know, what is it that makes me truly happy? When was the last time I was doing something where I felt pure joy? Maybe even ask yourself, what are my friends and families always asking me to do for them? Maybe you're really good at art. Maybe you're really good at design. Maybe you're really good at gardening. There's no answer that is wrong. The point is that when you think about doing that task, do you get excited? Do you feel super happy? And that might be something that tells you that this is your passion. I know for me, nothing makes me happier than organizing. For some people watching me speak for all saying that we love to organize, but that's what makes us all different and unique. So really, I encourage you to ponder and to reflect. The other thing is to think about, once you nail down your passion, think about the people that you can talk to that are doing that already. For me, one of the biggest things is, you know, I was lucky enough to always, or not to always, but I started being able to talk one-on-one with Peter Walsh. To me, he was a huge mentor for me and somebody that I wanted to emulate. So I got to know him and ask him questions, and you know, now we have a great relationship where I can ask him questions all the time. I mean, wrote my first book, I didn't know any authors. So, and I surely didn't know anybody that wrote a book about organizing. So it made a big difference in my life to reach out to somebody that was already doing what I wanted to do. And most of the times when you ask people in those positions to help you, they're more than willing because, you know what, they're excited, they're happy. I mean, they're living their dream, they're living their passion. Why wouldn't they want to share that with somebody else? It makes a huge difference. So really just make sure that you're reaching out to people that could be a mentor. And the most important thing is to, A, talk about your passion. Get out there and talk about it. Mention to people that you are around what you do and why you love it. And if you're excited, they'll be excited when they're listening to you. And most importantly, surround yourself with people that are going to support you. Because a lot of times when we decide we're going to make a big change in our life or we're going to switch careers, and especially if you're thinking outside the box, you know, people might not be a huge cheerleader for you at first, and that's okay. make sure that you're so excited about your passion that you're willing to do it no matter if everybody you're around thinks it's a bad idea. Who cares?
Right.
It's not about their life. It's about yours.
Right.
And the biggest thing is to surround yourself with people that are going to support you no matter what they think. They
Sure.
just want to see you happy and successful, and start to really eliminate those people that are, what I like to call energy drainers. They're just always going to bring you down, because when you're really on the path to success or to live your dreams, people like that are going to be a waste of time and energy for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really important to have the ones behind you that are supporting you the whole entire way.
Sure.
I know you know all about this, right, Adam?
Well, as you're saying that, it's actually yesterday I had the opportunity to be in a mastermind group, and I'm not sure where my feedback is coming from. Is that me? No. Okay. So yesterday I was in a mastermind group, and Jennifer, actually that might be coming off of yours. Could you just lower your volume there for a second?
Do you want me to plug in my earpiece?
Oh, sure.
I can't hear any feedback on my end.
I hear it, Doug. I think it's coming out through your speakers. So, okay, so all good. But anyway, I was in a mastermind group yesterday, and I got to hang out.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Still feedback, but we'll let it roll. So I was in a feedback group feedback group, a mastermind group yesterday, and I was with 10 different entrepreneurs, people that are at different levels of their business. And being in that room for the 9 hours I was there was so different than being anywhere else that I've been in the past 2 months with 9 people in the room at the same time. So I can totally appreciate that and understand it. And the other thing that's really important for me is being comfortable in your own house. And we did exactly what you said with the dining room. We don't have a formal dining room anymore. It's the kids' playroom, because it's right off the kitchen. It's right next to the living room where the TV is and everything. So we set it up. They got their doll houses, their cars, motorcycle toys, dragon toys, little forts, everything in there. So it's dynamite what you talk about, and it's all true. And you've frozen for a second, so I hope you caught that last sentence there. All right, so let's see, Jennifer. There you go. You're back. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So like everybody else here on the panel, Jennifer's information will be down underneath in the description below the videos. PDFs, handouts, we'll have everything on the separate page. So I just got to give a big thanks to Jennifer for participating today. I love you to death. I call her JFB, so do a lot of people that are close to her, so I'm happy to be able to call her JFB. And thank you for not only participating, but being involved in the first Bring the Need, sharing the love, talking about it, having a passion for it, and spending all your time here today. I thank you so much. So I'm going to give a little round of applause. I know she's nodding in her frozen background there.
Rapid, the world's greatest gift wrap organizer. www.rapidgiftbag.com